Conservatives and moderate Republicans apparently are still at an impasse, and the Club for Growth is calling them out. Conservatives, including the Club for Growth, were willing to accept the latest deal that would let states seek regulation waivers, but moderates want Obamacare largely left intact. So they say this is big government liberalism at work among House Republicans, and Speaker Ryan is letting them run his conference. Here now is Andy Roth, Club for Growth Vice President of Government Affairs. Andy, what happened? It seemed that last night our producers were inside the Beltway reporting on the meeting between the Vice President and members of the Freedom Caucus. It seemed like there was a deal, and yet today we get this statement from you guys, which seems to say no deal. What happened?
Well, we got indications pretty early on that the moderates were backing away. The conservatives decided that they were willing to take this step, like as groups like the Club for Growth were willing to do as well. But moderates are revealing their true colors, which is why you're not sealing a deal. They like Obamacare intact, or at least largely intact.
Well, what specifically were the moderates, to use your phrase, what specifically were they objecting to in the deal that you worked out with VP Pence?
It's hard to say. You'd have to ask them. But the deal was to allow waivers to be granted to the states to let governors get rid of most of Obamacare's regulations. And those regulations are what's driving up the premiums. This seems common sense to us, but apparently moderates don't like the idea of deregulating or even federalism, and they want to keep those regulations on the books.
Well, you use the phrase big government liberalism. Now, those are fighting words among Republicans. What is it about their view of health care that would qualify them for big government liberalism?
Well, that's the interesting situation that we're in right now. A lot of Republicans, most Republicans, including the moderates, supported full repeal of Obamacare less than 2 years ago. Now they're breaking their promise. Why? That's why I think the big question should be focused on right now today.
Well, do you believe that they, in fact, are for a government health care system?
Yeah, absolutely. They want their cake and eat it, too. They want to say that they are for repeal of Obamacare, but then when it counts, when it's time and it matters, and it's not a show vote like it was under the Obamacare, under Obama's administration, now they want to say, well, we want to keep it.
But Andy, do you really think that they're on the same side of this issue as Bernie Sanders?
Yes, and that's the one thing that's not being reported right now, is that there are a lot of Democrats within the Republican Party in the House. They're pro-union, they're pro-spending.
Andy, I just got to emphasize, you are saying that moderate Republicans now are on the same side of the health care issue as Bernie Sanders.
Well, Bernie Sanders is for single payer. What the moderate Republicans are arguing for is they are okay with keeping Obamacare largely intact. That's the problem we have. For the last 3 cycles, election cycles, including Trump's election, it was all predicated on repeal of Obamacare. And they went along with it.
You know, I've got Orrin Hatch on.
And now they're saying they don't want to do it.
Orrin Hatch is against a lot of what you guys are saying about it, but I don't think he'd say in any way, shape, or form he's still in favor. I'll ask him, but I don't think he's going to say he's in favor of maintaining Obamacare.
I would love to have that debate, because there are a lot of them in the Republican conference who want to keep this stuff. Yeah.
All right. Andy, thank you very much for being here. Andy Roth from the Club for Growth. Boy.
You bet.